Hello and welcome to not a Wraggys beer review, even though we are in Wraggy's tap room. Yeah, there you go. But a beer with Wraggy, albeit a bloody hazy imperial ginger beer. What the fuck's that on the glass? Pardon my French. Yeah, not been doing the lives recently. Gearing up for December the 1st. Got a lot of stuff going on in the house. Cars, the house, life. It's a busy time. Not a, you know, um, literally, we are bloody hair there. See it travelling through the air. I must be losing some airs. Yeah, well, I'm on the all go. I'd rather be bold than bloody grey. Um, but yeah, it's nice to do a beer of Wraggy again. Um, and this winter, it's going to be tough for all of us, for everybody, for people who are already on the breadline, you know, it's unbelievably tough. And I don't know how people survive. And doing going out of work and an extra job. There are lots of jobs out there, which is good. Uh, Going out doing a bit more work for this winter. Um, Not that you really should be doing it. Family comes first, but in a lot of ways, keeping the house that you live in your own, whether you rent or buy, it doesn't really matter. You know, there are pros and cons to renting and buying. People say, oh, renting, oh, well, you're paying somebody else. Yeah, 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 but they have to foot the bill when things go wrong, and in some houses things go wrong a hell of a lot, like roofs, like boilers. Boilers are bloody expensive. Kitchens, bathrooms. There are damp issues. There are a lot that can go wrong with houses. It's not always a one. Buying a house is no one-sided win. I don't think so. I've studied the pros and cons of it through my life, and yes, if you're paying out a very, if you got on the journey when everything was ridiculously cheap and you was earning a good wage, then buying is exceptionally the best way to go. But renting, private renting, I'm not so sure. Councils, good councils, wow, there you go, and good housing associations are brilliant to rent off and more or less cheaper than the private sector. Uh, but yeah, it's tough times. And this winter, hospitality has suffered the brunt. Not your bloody petrol, your banks, and them sort of idiots have suffered the brunt of the what happened since COVID. Coming out of COVID, now cost of living crisis, people can't afford to go to pubs, which also hurts pubs. People can't afford. People are looking at lowering their what they drink. Maybe looking into doing homebrew instead. There are always winners and losers in this world that we live in. However, you know, if we don't, if we can support pubs and breweries, then hotels, etc., then doing so. And those with lots of money, go and bloody out there, go and eat out, go and support these pubs and breweries. If you've got that money to spend, then do it. People on lower wages, obviously, there's an issue. You're not going to buy your beer from craft beer breweries because you can't afford to. So you're going to go back to supermarkets. It is a case of we all do whatever we have to do to survive in this world. Um, could the government help? Yes, they could help because they could reduce tax and VAT for lower breweries, breweries that don't produce certain amounts of beer. They helped out the likes of Heineken and Green King, Marston's, big massive breweries, but it didn't help out the actual small breweries. You know, and I just feel that the Conservatives have ran their course. 12 years they've been in power. Labour mucked it up terrible when they took power. They took power because Labour were crap and knackered up the financial system. Without a shadow of a doubt, they did. But Tories have done no better. They also have knackered it up. Why are we not supporting, Britain, England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, and including Ireland in that respect, is a great place to be. There are lots of places in the world a hell of a lot worse off than what we are. But these countries, need to say to the world, this is our product. We need to be selling products out of the UK. You look at China selling their products. We need to sell product. We need to say we're the best. And we are the best, When you look at countries around the world, everyone comes here to live. Probably because of fucking benefits, you can sit on a dole all your life and do fuck all, and scrounge off the system and have a great life and never do out. And if you're a good actor, these things can be. I only have to look across the road and up the road for that, but such as it is. So, we'll call this a Wraggy catch-up. So the channel moving forward from December the 1st to December the 24th, there will be a day. I have no idea how bad I'm going to be on some days, pissed out my face, because I'm going out next weekend. There's an urban chicken ale tap takeover at Burnt Pig in Ilkeston. If you live near Ilkeston, please come down. Please come and chat to me, because I'll be on my bloody own for the first few hours, and maybe. And I really have bad anxiety, and it's always great to talk to people who are, who know you through beer reviews and have never spoke to you. And I'm super looking forward to it. Urban Chicken Ale. Darren is one of the loveliest people that I've ever met in the beer industry. He's a genuinely nice person who is truthful, honest, and doesn't say something and then take it back and then never remember what they've said. I have a memory. When people say something to you, I have a real memory of that, and it's been sad. Some of what hasn't happened that could have happened, but hey ho, that's beer. So that's on Saturday. On Sunday next week, over at Fire Rock Brewing Company, over in Sutton in Ashfield. It's a bit of a trek to get to. It depends where you live in the country. But I'm going to get there early, and I'm going to sit outside and hopefully knock on the window and somebody will let me in early. And maybe sample a beer off the bar, and pay a bit earlier. But I don't mind paying. Paying's not the problem. But sampling beer off the bar and doing reviews, and decent long reviews before anybody gets there, that for me is the golden ticket. Yeah. Willy Wonka. Hey. Just I thought to myself, where the fuck have I heard golden ticket before? And Willy Wonka. So that's next week. plans going forward for the channel. Come Christmas time, I'm going to be doing some grain brewing. I've done one grain brew. Next grain brew is going to be live. 5 fucking hours, pardon my French, of grain brewing, because it is such a boring process, grain brewing. Yeah. And it's all right when somebody's talking to you in a brewery and feeding you with so much information. Lincoln Green Brewing Company. But you know when you're there and you're not pissed, it's fucking boring. And so I'm gonna do the grain brewing, have a big live across the channel, and I'm super looking forward to it. I'm gonna take over the kitchen for 5 hours. Yeah, we have no kitchen at the moment, so it won't matter at the moment. Yeah, it'd be a great time to do a grain brew, to be fair. Looking to do some good beers for my wedding vows next year, that I'm going to age. Well, he says age. Drink the fucker after a month and then age it again. Yeah, I can try, can't I? I mean, I've got some beer just there that's needing to be not beer, but it's needing to be sorted out. But I've been there 2 months and I can't be asked to touch it. And but there you go. But yeah, continuing the lives. It's been a bit It's been a bit short lately on lives. We're going through a colossal amount of stuff all at once. If I didn't laugh, I would be crying daily basis. You know, there's only so much stuff in life you can never contend with at any one moment in time. Um, some people are good at that. Some people can just like, fuck me, what's this now? Jesus, another shit. Hey, I'll just have a cup of coffee and forget about it. Yeah, that's all good. But yeah, some of the stuff just recently. Still, obviously, we've got the dog issues. He's still tootling around. He's not got no worse. He's getting edgingly worse, but not to a state where it's like, come on, this is the moment. We need to, pull the trigger. What do you do? What the fuck do you do? I mean, come on. Do you put him to sleep? And it's like putting to sleep a member of your family. And it's as tough a decision as that. People who can do it without no hesitation, fair play to you. You're a better person than I am. Yeah. It's not something I can do. I can't just wipe out a member of the family. Yes, I see the progression of getting worse. I have to clean up wee and poo, lift him up, stinking of piss. My fingers stinking of piss. The house not in a good place in that respect. He goes upstairs, lays on my son's bed. He's, the slight dribble at night. You walk into my son's bedroom, it's not smelling great. And he's taken that on the nose. It's fucking tough, it's for anybody in a situation where you're seeing a downward progression, and in people you haven't got that ability to pull the trigger. In pets you have, but I'm not so sure about cats because I've never had a cat, so I'm not a cat person. But in dogs, I feel that dogs are the closest to human beings. And it's incredibly, and I do mean incredibly tough. not daft. I know that the inevitable is there at some stage. And, he stopped licking us. Even, you give him a kiss and he's usually licking away, showing his affection, and he's not. And I've even Googled it. And for once, Google's absolutely shite. Yeah, it's tough. It is tough. Whew. So, Christmas coming up. We're having a more subdued Christmas this year. Normally, I've got my Christmas decorations up by now. I'm usually the first on the street. Well, nobody. To be honest, nobody on the street that side has got their decks up yet. And that is really surprising. In COVID times, November, most people had, those that do actually celebrate Christmas, because they're miserable bastards who don't, but most that do had their decks up. But literally nobody anywhere around us is feeling Christmas. And that is really, really sad. Christmas is about hope, joy, happiness, and giving. And yeah, it's strange. I look out and nobody. By now, there are 3 or 4 on this little section of street I live on. We've got some sort of Christmas decoration up, however small. And yeah, nothing. I'm out next weekend, but for me, Thursday and Friday, once my kitchen's in and we get back to some spectrum of normality, then we can certainly the outside first. I've got a 22-foot Christmas tree. People walk by and the kids are looking up, and there's a joyous moment where you see kids looking up and seeing Christmas, and it shines a light on what it should be. Oh dear, I've both got a cold and emotion at the same time. Ooh, it's very hard looking, even looking at the camera at the moment. God dear, gotta be honest. Hey. Oh. Oh. So, yeah, I mean, a beer of Wraggy, hey? I was doing the beer of Wraggies at work, but just not in the mood for it. And to be honest, my phone's so shit that it's only good for doing YouTube shorts. 15 seconds of somebody muffled on a phone is about as much as you can take. Oh, pour a bit more in. I've got to disconnect the washing machine tonight. Disconnect the cooker, ready for tomorrow. Yeah. In my own house, which is hilarious. And yeah, hopefully next few days we'll move on, start to return to normality. December the 1st is coming up. Super looking forward to it. November the 30th, I think it's the 30th. Going to do a live anyway. And a live beer with Wraggy and whatever, or a review, I'm not so sure. But that's if I've got any glasses left by then. God, I need my sink back. I've literally got about 40 glasses that are dirty now. And yeah, gone are the days where I was drinking out of a dirty glass because it's disgusting. You're drinking beer that's 3 days old. So, been a good one. Enjoyed the talk tonight. You know, talking to the camera is good. You know, we are all going through stuff. Personally, I know of friends that are going through an incredibly tough time. A lot tougher than anything I'm enduring, and emotionally, you know, and for their family. And you know, my heart goes out to them. Um, I think life is a journey, and it's a tough journey at times. And all of us are different in our toughness. Some of us are super tough, and nothing phases us. Fair play to that. And some of us are super emotional, super easy to be downtrodden in times of adversity. And sadly, I'm pretty much on that. I mean, to be fair, if anybody was to confront me and to threaten me, well, you would be walking into a storm that you wouldn't ever want to walk into. They're saying. In that case, you know, never judge anybody by looks, by colour, by their demeanour. You never know. You never know what's behind that face you're staring at. And there are lots of people in the world who are very frightening, who you would never think are that way. And there are lots of people who are built like brick shit asses, who are very nimble and who want to fly, and you know, won't be able to protect themselves either because they're not that sort of person. It's a funny world at times. In any case, this is a beer with Wraggy. I've talked about what's happening to the channel. We will progress and go forward, hopefully. Lots of lives coming up. Hopefully lives around Christmas as well. And it could well be a month of lives. And once I get back into the spirit of things, there will be more, you know. This beer review channel was at its greatest when I was doing daily lives, and I remember that. It was great. Can't get away with spending nearly 2 hours in the shed every night for no reason, you know, can't do it. But yeah, in COVID it was different, but in real times, not so. Over the next few months, got a lot of decorating to do and getting the house back to tip-top normal condition, the garden to tip-top normal condition. Looking forward to a dogless future. You know, it's coming. I cannot escape that, as much as it rips my heart and soul apart. Ah, but we must move forward. We must progress. It's been a nice chat. See you later, all. Cheers, all.